Hi, my name is Robert Allen. Tonight I'll be hosting the Thursday Night Poets for poetry reading. The Thursday Night Poets is a weekly critique group and poetry writing group that's been around since about 2020. Tonight we have five poets reading. I'll just be hosting this evening. I'm a Thursday night poet as well, but tonight I'll be hosting. If you'd like to check out my book, Aphasia from Inkfish Press, feel free. Everyone else will be talking about their books after they read as well. Our first reader tonight is Alex Kerrigan, and Alex is him is a Pushcart nominated editor, poet, and critic from Alexandria, Virginia. He's the author of Now Let's Get Brunch, Cadencia Press, 2023, and May All Our Pain Be Champagne, Alien Buddha Press, 2022. Would you like to read, Alex?
Yes, thank you so much. So tonight I will be reading from my books, actually. These are a chapbook and a full length of poem of centos or centos made entirely from the things reality TV stars posted on Twitter. So first I'll be reading a piece from May All Our Pain Be Champagne, which is my Real Housewives Twitter collection. The poem I'm reading will actually be reprinted next year in the American Pop Culture Almanac anthology from Moontide Press. So this is from the Twitter account of Bethany Frankel. Bethany Frankel gives a TED Talk to her stuffed animals. And as a general content warning for the pieces I'm reading tonight, these poems contain foul language, sexual references, drug and alcohol references, and a whole mess of other content warning things. So feel free to skip to the next reader if that's an issue. I've learned so much and seen so much waste, BS, branding, and rubber chicken charity dinners. You can be surrounded by people and miserable and totally solo and peaceful. I've spent Thanksgiving solo before, and it was peaceful and a time for reflection. One year I did yoga and watched TV. Another year I jumped in the cold ocean. Don't get too attached to the marketing of a day. Is Mercury in retrograde? Because this week has been a shitstorm. Anyone else? Something was in retrograde today. Whatever it is, I kindly ask that it move forward tomorrow. I've been slipping away from other areas of entertainment. Maybe watch TV from this decade. There is a whole wild world of entertainment with actually funny people. Watch Handmaid's Tale. Watch season one. I'm telling boring dental stories because we have to be educated. People can really take you down the wrong road, and I don't want this to happen to you. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Also, I guess we aren't even discussing that it's a pandemic with people sandwiched next to each other. You could choose your own adventure with this pandemic. It's like hide and seek. This is how true business people respond to a crisis. I'm not a celeb who panics in fear of cancellation because I didn't say something precisely how you needed to hear it. Nominate me for cancellation. There are like five others before you, so pick a number. But what's really important in the world is what Mickey Mouse messaged Donald Duck, who told Goofy, and then Minnie chimed in to give her thoughts on the matter. Explain this story in greater detail. I want to hear it. Okay, I snorted melatonin an hour ago. What's supposed to happen? Can you please email info@bethany.com? It's horrific. All right, and next I'll be reading from my first full length, Now Let's Get Brunch from Quincy Press. This is all poems from queens who have been on RuPaul's Drag Race, US and international. The first one comes from season 13 queen Candy Muse. This is Candy Muse sitting alone in the Black Lodge. Took an edible, ladies. I'm having revelations. Fashion is art, and art is subjective. I can wear the most beautiful outfit in the world made by the hands of God Himself, and people would still be up in arms. I felt and looked amazing last night, so the opinions of you and every other bundle of sticks that wears matching sets from ASOS really does not matter. Please stop messaging venues saying we're cousins so you can get in for free. Bitch, wait till I get my hands on you. Come on, that face? Apology video with tears now. That's the joke, bitch. Another standing ovation. I'm trying to put the House of Aja back on the map. Y'all, I've been craving a Korean corn dog for the longest time now. No, I've never had them, but they always look so good. Am I talking too much, or are y'all not talking enough? Girl, what the hell? This edible's kicking my ass. What are we doing today? And for the last piece I will be reading comes from uh, one of the most famous queens from the franchise, Trixie Mattel. And it's probably one of my favorite pieces in this collection to read. So all the content warnings again. Trixie Mattel before the unveiling of her gold statue. Good morning, you junkie whores. Just like my pioneer ancestors, I'm hungover. She had a little too much prop wine. Alexa, play Watercolor Eyes by Lana Del Rey. Also, I'm sorry if your Alexa goes off in this poem. Just a young woman spreading joy and her legs across the country on tour. And speaking of legs, everyone keeps trying to fuck me. Does it ever end? We're halfway through the first leg of our North American tour. If you aren't bald, you can't come. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. We need to normalize being old, bald, and disgusting. Alexa, play Juice by Lizzo. Stop sending hate to drag queens that I don't already hate. Maybe drag queens should start sending death threats to fans. Lol. People need to touch grass and breathe and enjoy television. Gays in their 30s. I can't. Thanks everyone for your support. Still saying this daily. Everyone wants to fuck me. And I totally get it. I'm a young human girl in her prime. If I don't do adult films, then who will? Alexa, play Brave by Sarah Bareilles. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Alex Kerrigan. Our next reader is Stefanie Kirby. Stefanie Kirby is a proud member of the Thursday Night Poets for 3 years. She's the author of three chapbooks: Fruitful, winner of the Driftwood Poetry Chapbook; Remainder, published earlier this year with Full City Press; and Opening, out this month from Glass Poetry Press. Her work's been included in Best of the Net Anthology and appears widely in journals such as West Branch, Sixth Bench, Massachusetts Review, Cincinnati Review, and Four Way Review. She lives just outside of Denver with her family. Stefanie, would you like to read?
Yes, thank you. I feel like I have the hardest job tonight because I'm following Alex, who is hands down just the funniest writer ever. And I think for poetry, it's a bit more unusual, I think, to be funny, but Alex does it so well. So I get to follow that with my attempt at I have an attempt at humor tonight too, but we'll see how it lands after Alex. Um, Such a delight to be here among friends, reading poems and listening to them. All the pieces I will read tonight are from my chapbook opening, which is out with Glass Poetry Press later this month. Um, so this book explores various iterations of opening, hence the title. And the opening I'm going to focus on tonight, or all the pieces I've picked focus on, is the mouth. And the first poem is called Chimera. My body opens like a highway sinkhole. It's a baby, someone shouts, and I know they are wrong. It's a baby, I shout, still wrong. When I can't open my mouth any further, the first frog leaps from between my teeth, its head a small lion's. Hopeful, like a building on fire. Four frogs follow the first, turn to birds that plummet skyward like wanting. Their bodies reach toward the sun with mirrors for claws. I watch my reflection locked into each one, mouth spread wide and terrible, perfectly pink in birth's afterglow. The smallest bird becomes a tongue, folds into an envelope with a bald, thrashing tail. No one says this, but I know it's empty. Our fate sealed inside, an illusion that spits flame. So this next piece is a little bit more mouth adjacent, in that it focuses on the breath. And this one is called Sacrilege. The elevator buttons light up like a slot machine, spit a few sparks into the box held midair in the uterine dark. I bargain, get me out of here, and I swear I'll say 10 Hail Marys. Nothing. Elevator music. I'm about to up my offer to 15 when I hear Mary Magdalene outside the wedged doors feel the crack of her skull against the metal. She's crushing it. She's breathing heavy as rocks. She forces her left hand through the jammed doors, skeletal fingers parting like keys. The music never stops. Beethoven's Mass in C major sputters, continues. Then she's in, her face as prayerful as I'd expected, a rosary of small coals dangling from her wrist like missing eyes. Mary Magdalene turns to smoke, bones soft as incense, a hit I can take gray through the lungs. I exit, knowing my debt repaid, for what is prayer, if not a saint held in the breath? And because I am joining you from snowy Colorado tonight, I'm going to end with a winter poem. This one is called Still Life with Winter Trees. I think of speaking in this garden filled with dead tongues. Some rasp in the early dark, others lie grounded by heavy snow. Later, the wind cuts strips of lawn into parting lips, frozen blue. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefanie. That was Stefanie Kirby. The next person I would like to introduce is Frances Klein. Frances is she/her, is an Alaskan poet and a teacher. She's the author of the poetry collection Another Life, Riot in Your Throat, 2025 publisher. And she's a founding editor of Flight, a literary sampler. Frances, would you like to read?
Thank you, Robert, and thank you everybody for being here. This is so fun to just be able to read with people whose work I've known and loved for a long time. I'm going to be reading a few pieces from my book, I've Never Wanted Another Life, which is a lot about kind of alternate timelines and options. And because as a high school teacher, I spend all day with kids, I'm going to start with one that is called At the Middle School Dance, All the Boys Circle Up for the Crip Walk. Their shirts are red and blue, striped and checked, the collars popped, armpit seams untouched by antiperspirant. They are puppy-limbed and footed, eyes wide and unshuttered as lighthouses. The music doesn't matter. Backstreet Boys, Bloodhound Gang, Radiohead, Edit Eminem, and a rhythmic heart skip of censored somethings. The boys take turns careening across the circle, hips loose, ankles floppy, knees jerking in and out. None of them know enough to try and spell anything, their moves a scribbled mess across the center court. Here on this island, far from everything, they know nothing of affiliation, of territory, of acting, look out on an LA street while hot wind sparks a cigarette butt still smoldering in the gutter. In the flash of a single colored strobe, their teeth are blue, then purple, then blue again. They laugh and hoot, jeer and clap, as they each in turn shrug on so easily the soft-elbowed coat of taking something not their own and wearing it lightly. There is a lot of this collection is about the experience of being pregnant with and having my son. So one of the ones that I'm going to read is a short one called Pregnancy Tracker. This week, your baby is a lemon the size of a golf ball, a Boeing 747 the size of a hummingbird. Your baby is a blue whale the size of a bait herring, a neon sign the size of a light socket, a 200-year-old oak the size of an acorn. Your baby is an old-growth forest the size of the Preservation Society's budget, a 40-hour work week the length of a single evening. This week, your baby is a multi-hour cross-department meeting the size of an out-of-office message, a time zone the size of a wristwatch, a library the size of a zip file, a body of work the size of a single pull quote. Your baby is an ever-expanding, unboundaried universe the size of a postage stamp, limitless potential the size of realized talent, an 8-lane freeway the size of the life in the rearview mirror. And then, just to wrap up, I'm going to read what is the last collection, or the last piece in the collection, a poem called What We Do After. When the word gets out that there is no God and the sky closes like a lid, we all go on much the same as before. The old churches continue to be converted into ramen lounges and spirit Halloweens. The most famous saints still the ones with the glistening wet eggs of Super Bowl rings perched above their knuckles. We adjust to the way our prayers rebound, land shuddering at our feet like stunned starlings. We lived like there was no God even when we thought there was one. Now that we know better, we go out of our way to avoid crushing the line of black ants on the sidewalk, doggedly ferrying kernels of popcorn back to their hill. We keep extra bandages in our pockets to give to the children of strangers when they fall off their bikes. The bandages have characters on them from the cartoons we have continued to make, even though there is no God. Cartoons where the frog and bear say harsh words at first, then come together. In the end, they share a blanket while they take turns looking through their telescope at the empty, star-filled sky. Thanks.
Thank you, Frances. That was Frances Klein. Now I'd like to introduce Tim Motor. Tim Motor is a poet from northern Wisconsin and an enrolled member of the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. His poems have appeared in Denver Poetry, Cutthroat, South Florida Poetry Journal, Pinch Show Poetry Journal, and others. He's the author of 3 chapbooks and most recently The Angel of Coincidence, published by Inkfish Press in 2025. His poems have been nominated for both the Best of the Net and the Pushcart Prize. Tim, would you like to read?
Sure. Thank you, Robert, and thanks everyone for being here. It's good to see everyone. Happy holidays. I'm going to read a poem from my first chapbook, All True Heavens, which was out with Alien Buddha Press. It's called Osiris at Abbey Gethsemane, December 21st, 2012. Listening with skin and bone, sanctifying time. With rapt eyes closed, I walk moccasin soft on a hollow night, insomniac listening. I hear time-dead voices recite the divine office with the mouths of the living, our senses in a single file line. Everything opens for them eventually, the dead. Elevator doors, ends of tunnels, even the earth itself. In times like this, who doesn't want madness? I left my body on the bed and fell onto the floor of the grotto, pitching blindly into the storm's eye. In the library, words perform. On unplugged radios, under picture window skies, prophets whisper fortunes to me. They say tomorrow's rain will pound the grass flat. And then I'm going to read a couple from my chapbook that came out this year with Inkfish Press. It's called The Angel of Coincidence. Because it's cold here too, I'm going to read one called To a Snowman. Top hat scuffed, unruly, smashed onto your perfectly round head. Your body leans left, but not your smile. Too many hands made you. We have, in love, perfected your ensemble with one thin tie draped around you. I give you a broomstick. Keep us safely behind you. I give you some fancy dress shoes. Do not leave us when we forget you, and we will forget you. Try to entertain us as we entertain you. 2 men in love walked by, strangers to our neighborhood. They surprised themselves by stopping unexpectedly to throw snowballs into you. You are a time machine, carnival midway game and prize, my favorite Frankenstein. Ice creatures froth at the mouth, their chill hands reach through frost window panes. Their poltergeist voices bounce between houses, half frozen with insanity. Looking out the front door, I imagine you are smiling. I saw a rabbit eat your face, at least the part of your face the squirrels knocked over. I wish that rabbits knew how to smoke a corncob pipe, the one that's fallen off and spilled onto the trampled snow. I wish you wind, hypothermia, frost, you, a a rolled white mud pie whose snow-padded middle bends. No spine, red mittens, weary smile beneath the slowly poured sun. Eager glazed eyes, brand new charcoal nose, a day's delight in flurries. Your form is your undoing. Then I'm going to read one more. It's less snowy and less a little more somber, I guess. It's called My Side of the Bed. I feel your fingers work my hair like a jar of butterflies. You're laying sideways on my pillow, and you worry I won't feel you, just your fingers. With my begging head pressed against the pulse of your breast, you trace letters on my back for me to guess. Slow letters in a carnal code. You say, now do me. I do. I worry you won't remember me either. After the skin has settled and the sun comes up and a blackberry stained porcelain bowl rejoices in the kitchen sink, you say, let's not get up. But you will. And the picture will swirl and the places will change. Eventually, after a life, I'll be the only one left who remembers. And I will, as an early translation of a lost manuscript that I quote in my sleep when the feeling goes out of my body.
Is frozen. We'll come back to Tim. We'll come back to Tim, and he'll be able to finish that poem. The next reader is Celeste Schueler. Celeste Schueler is a poet from Mississippi, currently living outside of Seattle. She has a BA in English and an MFA in creative writing from Mississippi University for Women. Her work has been nominated for Pushcart Prize and Best in Net. Celeste's first full collection, Peonies of Resurrection, is forthcoming from Unsolicited Press in February 2027. Celeste, would you like to read?
Yeah, I'd love to. The poems that I'm gonna read tonight, they are all from my forthcoming collection. So, um, the first one I'm gonna read, is My Therapist Explains What Happens to My Brain During an Episode. Those with bipolarity are often more creative and skilled with language. British Journal of Psychiatry. Moods as driftwood on Horn Island, photographed in lucent sun, as oil rolling in waves, as feathers swallowed by lungs. Moods as rabbits darting into the bush, as owl perching in oak tree, as scars on arms from snapped wooden pencils, moods as praying mantis standing on a maroon Camry, as moon mounding over Jackson Square, as lilies a day early, moods as lipstick cutting into smog, as hallucinations at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as a 7-day pillbox, moods as pearls rolling in a mouth, as kudzu leafing black wires, as sonnet eclipsing in a silver box. And then the next poem is called I Never Thought I'd Live Past 31, after Lee Young Lee. Now I want my hair to turn white and sun to kiss eclipses that I don't watch. My favorite color is the moons of your eyes. I keep pinky promises to our daughters in a mason jar, but I never tighten the lid. My favorite flower is the lily from the bouquet sent over the summer when I experienced our happiness. You told me I should strive for joy, but the mood swings followed our marriage vows written on brown paper. My favorite sign is your car pulling into the garage and the song of rain drowning the rocks, and I'm waiting for the plum-colored tulips to come back. My favorite heart is cracking under sun like clay in Oklahoma, and it's open to your whispers. Watching bipolar episodes in the mirror, and my favorite book is Peeling Like My Fingers, and the cat naps in your chair. The dream sprouted white hair with poems written in old notebooks, and my favorite color is the shine of your wedding ring against my skin. And then I have one more, and it was written this year, and it's also forthcoming in the manuscript. On hearing another poet speak of never being cured, for Cynthia Marie Hoffman. The flickers beat their wings against the glass door. I bury two depressive episodes in DBT handbooks, sun epiphanies on the tulip fields. Daffodils wilt as I photograph my twins in billowing floral dresses. Thursday morning, I weep as I butter toast, their tiny voices asking if I still have the bipolar. Lilac blossoms in my hands. If a parent gets help, they have a better chance of handling a diagnosis. And I'll be 37 this year. And finally, the canary survives the tunnel. Thank you.
Thank you, Celeste. That was Celeste Schueler. Tim, you froze for a moment. Would you like to read that poem over, your final poem? Close this out tonight?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this last poem. It's called My Side of the Bed. It's in my chapbook, The Angel of Coincidence. My side of the bed. I feel your fingers work my hair like a jar of butterflies. You're laying sideways on my pillow, and you worry I won't feel you, just your fingers. With my begging head pressed against the pulse of your breast, you trace letters on my back for me to guess, slow letters in a carnal code. You say, now do me. I do. I worry you won't remember me either. After the skin has settled and the sun comes up and a blackberry stained porcelain bowl rejoices in the kitchen sink, you say, let's not get up. But you will. And the picture will swirl and the places will change. Eventually, after a life, I'll be the only one left who remembers. And I will, as an early translation of a lost manuscript that I quote in my sleep when the feeling goes out of my body. My eyes smile politely, and my side of the bed forgets everything but your fingers. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. That was Tim Motor. I want to thank everyone out there for listening. All the folks who read tonight have really awesome chapbooks and books, and I'll put that information in the text box in the YouTube recording so you'll be able to look at those books and possibly order them. It is the giving season. It's a good time to get a book for someone else, for yourself. And a lot of folks in here have chapbooks, and chapbooks are quite affordable. Books are affordable as well, but poetry is worth it, whatever we pay for it. And I just want to bring that up. It's good for, we can buy it for ourselves. I always buy 5 or 6 Christmas books for myself. So I encourage people to do this. I'll buy it for people you love and care about. I just want to say thank you again. Tonight, the readers have been Alex Kerrigan, Stefanie Kirby, Francis Klein, Tim Motor, and Celeste Schueler. And I'm Robert Allen. And on behalf of all of us, I want to say good night. So thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.